Oh, hey. Glad you decided to come back by. How are you? You good? Are you good? Are you sure? Okay, okay. I just had to make sure because, like, you are just an amazing person for coming back. Now, here's the thing. I quit. I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of it all. I quit. This is what I said to myself several times before I got to where I'm at now. You know, the guy that's helping me record this is he's one of my best friends, Kildare25. He's had to get me to pull my head out of my hide numerous times with regards to photography, YouTube, with my dating life. That's another story for another channel for another lifetime. I don't want to talk about my dating life because that's just not what you're here for. But here's the thing. I've almost given up on this stuff several times. Even with the smallest criticism, I was like, oh, well, I'm not cut out. This was a fun thing. Like, actually, last fall, I was gonna sell everything. I was gonna sell my MacBook, I was gonna sell my camera, all my gear, even my Rode mics. I was gonna sell it all. And I even told Kildare25, I'm like, YouTube was a great dream, but it's just not in the cards. And the next day, I was in the car with him. He was giving me a lift back to my work, and he just kind of brought me back down into reality. He's like, you just got to take it one step at a time. He's like, this is what you need to do. This is what I suggest you to do. And so don't quit. And so that's what I'm telling you. Don't quit, because I cannot emphasize that enough. You have the New Year's resolutioners, the ones who are like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get into photography, I'm gonna become this excellent photographer, I'm gonna be like the real life Peter Parker, I'm gonna be like the next Peter McKinnon, or, so many different other big time photographers, or just, they don't even have to be real characters. I mean, shoot, I just named off Peter Parker, for example. And then after like a couple weeks, they're like, oh, well, that was fun. Great example, when I was in that photography class that I've mentioned in previous videos, how much do you want to bet that more than half those people that were in that class, after that class was done for the semester, they never picked up their cameras ever again, and some of them probably sold it? Like, how much do you want to bet? Like, I can almost guarantee you that more than half of them sold their stuff, or their cameras are just sitting on their shelf somewhere catching dust. Me, on the other hand, I didn't give up. I went back to the root of like why I started in photography. Now, we don't need to rehash that because I did a whole video on that, and I'll put an iCard like right there about that. And then you have the seasoned burnouts, the ones that like, this was fun, but I'm not getting it. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not where I want to be. And so they've decided to kind of retire from like photography or YouTube or videography or whatever it is they're wanting to do. And then you have the ones that are like kind of losing a little momentum. They're the steamrollers. We'll call them the steamrollers. But you don't want them to lose the steam or that coal. So you're like trying to give them like encouragement, like, hey, well, like keep going. Like, and that's what I want from you. That's where I want you, is to not just be a steamroller, but be the one that just keeps going. Like, look, if you're getting back into photography or YouTube or music, whatever it is you're doing, hopefully it's photography because you're on this channel for a reason. But if it's for something else, I completely understand as well. Go back to the root of why you decided to get into that. For me, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I've always been interested in photography. I've always loved it. I've always been interested in it. And with regards to YouTube, the first time I ever thought about even making a YouTube channel was back in 2009. And then I thought about it again in 2016. And then I threw it on the back burner. And 4 years later, I finally launched my channel. This one that you're on right now. Look, life is all about trials and tribulations, learning experiences. I can go on and on about hardships that I've gone through, that I've seen Kildare25 go through, that I've seen family, friends, and so many other people go through. But but honestly, when it comes down to it, and this is a great quote that comes from one of my mentors / friends, Professor Nez. So Nez, if you're watching this, here we go. He always says, your biggest enemy is the person between your ears. And he's talking about yourself. Look, Comparison is the thief of joy. I have realized that with photography and with YouTube. Like, I have talked with several people when I almost gave up on YouTube. Like, I legitimately almost gave up after like the third or fourth video. I almost gave up. And each time they're like, hey, you got something here. Keep going. You'll get better. And look at me now. Like, I'm progressing. I'm moving forward. I'm helping you as the viewer. So when it comes to photography, go back to the reason why you got into, why you were passionate with photography. Whether it be you had an older brother or another family member that was really good with photography, or you saw a camera in a store that you really wanted and you saved up your money and got the camera and you're just like, oh man, I'm so excited. Go back to those reasons why you got into that. Because look, life sucks. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with this. It can beat you down, but it is up to you to get back up. And to be honest with you, if it hadn't have been for people like Kilder25 in my corner, and people like, as well as like people like Professor Nez, Sean Cannell of the owner of Think Media, Heather Torres, she was working for Think Media, but she has gone off on her own, and several other people, I wouldn't be recording this for you today. I wouldn't be here. I would be doing some dead-end job, working some job I hated. But now I'm here, helping you to be the better photographer, a better videographer, and to understand how technology works, and to give you as much help as I can. Now, if you got any value out of that, make sure you check out this video right here where we go in depth as to why I got into photography. I'll see you over there.